After watching this, your perspective on love might change, not because love itself changed, but because the world that holds it did. The rules, the rhythm, the expectations, they've all shifted. And most men, we're still trying to love in a world that doesn't exist anymore. Some mornings I stare at the skyline and wonder if I'm the crazy one. People call it progress, but connection feels harder than ever. We have more ways to talk, yet less to say. I look at her across the room, and I can feel miles sitting between us. My grandfather told me once, "Son, love's not complicated. People are." Back then, partnership meant purpose. You worked, she nurtured, you both built. No Instagram quotes, no energy alignment, just effort. And it worked, not because it was perfect, but because both sides showed up. Now it feels like we're negotiating instead of loving. Who pays? Who leads? Who texts first? Equality turned into competition. We've confused partnership with a power struggle. And somewhere in the noise, respect quietly left the room. Men are told to be strong but gentle, providers but never controlling, emotionally open but never weak. We keep adjusting, trying to read invisible rules. It's exhausting, and sometimes it makes us shut down completely, but I'd be lying if I said women don't feel it too. They were told to be everything: strong, beautiful, independent, nurturing, all at once. They're exhausted, just in different ways. We're all reacting to pain instead of creating peace. Social media didn't just change dating, it changed expectations. Everyone's comparing highlight reels, nobody's showing patience. We stopped asking, "Can I build with this person?" Now it's, "Do they fit my aesthetic?" Love turned into marketing, and hearts became brand deals. We don't talk about it, but men feel unseen too. We still carry the expectation to perform, provide, protect, but rarely to be understood. You can't be vulnerable and respected at the same time. At least that's what we've been taught, so we hide behind work, money, jokes, anything that keeps us from saying, "I'm tired too." Sometimes I watch her sleeping, and I miss her while she's right there. Not because she's changed, but because we both stopped showing up the same way. We used to meet halfway. Now we stand still, waiting for the other to move first. That's how distance starts, not in arguments, but in silence. You don't lose love all at once. You drift into disconnection. Then one day, you realize you're roommates with someone you once couldn't stop touching. Maybe love didn't vanish. Maybe it evolved. Maybe we're being asked to grow, not harder, but deeper. Because if the world changed, maybe how we love must change too. I used to think she'd changed, that women today were colder, harder to please. But standing here, watching the sun rise, I realized something. She didn't change for no reason. We both adapted to survive, not to connect. Men still carry the same weight: protect, provide, perform. But the world never taught us how to rest. We hide our fatigue behind work, our sadness behind silence, and silence. It breeds misunderstanding faster than words ever could. I started watching her differently. The same woman I thought was distant was just tired of carrying both hearts alone. Women today juggle work, identity, and expectation, and then still hear they're too emotional. Maybe it isn't that they're too emotional. Maybe we just stopped listening long enough to understand the message beneath the mood. Real strength isn't dominance. It's staying calm when everything invites anger. It's leading with steadiness, not superiority. The modern man has to be a warrior and a listener, both armor and open heart. One night I asked her, "What do you actually need from me?" She paused, not for effect, but because no one had ever asked. Then she said quietly, "I need you to be here, not just around." That line stuck like gospel, so I started small, not with speeches, but gestures. A note on the fridge, tea waiting before work, asking, "How's your heart today?" instead of "How's your day?" And slowly the walls began to crumble. Love didn't roar back, it whispered. Most men blame change on women, but change exposes us too. The truth is, if you want peace, you have to earn it daily. Accountability isn't weakness, it's maturity. You can't ask for respect if you haven't built stability. Love today isn't about roles, it's about responsibility. Two adults saying, I'll grow with you, not against you. Partnership now means emotional fluency, not control, not competition, but cooperation. Modern masculinity isn't about power, it's about presence. It's the strength to protect without possessing, to guide without demanding, to stand firm without closing off. The world may have changed, but integrity never goes out of style. I turned to her one evening and realized she hadn't changed as much as I thought. She was just waiting for me to notice the woman she still was beneath the armor. Maybe that's what waking up really means, seeing what's still good and choosing to nurture it. After watching all this unfold, my perspective on love did change. Love didn't disappear, it just asks more of us now. More patience, more honesty, more courage to stay when escape looks easier. Men wake up, not to fight women, but to find them again. Wake up to self-respect, emotional depth, and steady leadership. Wake up to the version of yourself that still believes in building, not blaming. Because relationships aren't what they used to be, but maybe we can be better than we've ever been.